team?
I told them they looked scared. The last 3 minutes, I thought they stopped playing and competing on both ends of the floor, and which is good. You want to put them in a situation to see how they react under some adversity. But I just didn't think they handled it real well, and just trying to preach to them during timeouts to, stay aggressive and be aggressive on both ends of the floor. And you got to play the game to win, and you can't play it to not to lose, and I thought that's what we did the last 3 minutes.
They went on a 25-10 run during that stretch you're talking about. What was the key to that for them?
They were just more aggressive. They were trying to win, and I think our guys were trying to hold on. It's pretty much as simple as that.
When you look at your injury situation now, it gets a little complicated. Ronnie Price banged a knee. Wayne Ellington has a concussion. How do you handle the guard rotation moving forward?
Well, I got to wait till Tuesday to see. I don't know what the status is going to be with Ronnie, going into the season. He's a tough kid, though. If I had to bet money, I think he would be ready by Tuesday. Wayne, because of the protocol with the NBA, that's probably going to be dicey. So that's kind of where that stands, and we'll just have to wait and see.
It looks like guys that you probably would have had to cut, you now may need. I guess it was good foresight for Mitch and you to keep guys like Jabari Brown and Roscoe Smith on the roster.
Yeah, it was, and like you said, there's some things we have to think about. Obviously this weekend, going forward, getting ready for the regular season because of some of the injury situations that we have, and we'll talk about that probably on the plane tonight, or we'll talk about it tomorrow.
What do you think of Julius tonight?
Oh, Julius played great. I really did. I thought he's really starting to learn. He's understanding what we need him to do on both ends of the floor. Still I think at times he gets a little tired, and then when he gets tired, he loses focus, on both ends. So it's just a matter of him just staying focused for the whole time that he's out there. But I think, from game one of the preseason to this game, he's definitely improved, and he's got a bright future.
He had that one weird stretch where you had 2 offensive fouls, and you had to put him on the bench with 4 fouls in the second quarter,
Right. Well, just being a rookie, just understanding and learning about the NBA, but I loved his aggressiveness as far as attacking the basket and the fact that he was able to knock down that mid-range shot that we've been working on so far. And again, like I said, the more comfortable he gets, the better he's going to get.
Now that the preseason is over, how do you evaluate it in terms of what you liked, what you didn't like?
Well, I've liked the steady improvement on the defensive end. Tonight's another indication. I think we held them to 41% from the field, so we're getting better on that aspect of our defensive end that we've been talking about, and that's getting to the point where it's growing on these guys. They're starting to understand what we want on a night-to-night basis. Offensively, it started coming as well the last 3 or 4 games. So overall, I'm very happy with the way the preseason went, because I thought each game we got better, a little bit better, and understanding what we need to do, and we just keep working at it.
The injuries aren't obvious, but what other concerns do you have entering the regular season?
Injuries. That's the main concern. Just hope that most of our guys are healthy by Tuesday.
Of all the stuff you tried.
Well, we hope so too. Much more to come on Access Sports.